Yo, what up? Sorry, y'all. What's good? I'm gonna go ahead and warn you guys right off rip. I know my voice sounds kind of fun. I've been dealing with like some allergy shit all day. It was all right until the last like 15 minutes. Of course, as I get prepped and ready to do this show, my nose starts running uncontrollably and I get the cough. So I'm like, yo, I'm gonna give it a go. I'll go as long as I can. I hate that I don't want to have to cut the camera off like 1,000 times to blow my nose, but it's like it's running, bro. It's running. And I know my voice sounds a bit whatever. But I did want to get on here because I didn't do a show yesterday. Obviously 4th of July. I was feeling some of these effects yesterday too, but I was like, it'd be cool. And at work, it was fine. I don't feel sick at all. It's just that, I keep sneezing and my nose won't stop running. So that's bullshit. If you ever dealt with allergies, that shit is a pain in the ass, bro. Pain in the ass. Andre, what's good, homie? What's good? Appreciate you stopping through the daily show. So let me get some stuff up here. Let's see. First off, let me get my music popping. Let me get the cruel summer going. All right, here we go. It's July 5th, man. Day after the 4th, bro. A little bit of stuff to talk about. Obviously, this Zaslav shit is wild. Like, I don't know all the full details. That's why I'm going to read the articles that have been put out there. But that shit's wild, bro. You just can't even be a journalist and report what you feel no more, right? This is some bullshit. Yeah, I'm going to read through it and see, and sort of look at the things and see what they're saying about it. So, not only that, Killers of the Flower Moon released a second trailer, or sort of a second. I think the first one was a teaser. This is a trailer that came out today. We'll be watching that as well. All right. All right. Let's move on this shit. Let's get this shit going. Something's aggravating the fuck out of me right now. I'll tell y'all real quick. Without any fucking hesitation. That shit aggravating. Let's see. All right. Here we go. All right. So you know how I start every show. Sorry, you guys. Sorry. I am... I started every show with stuff I saw today. Here we go.
What the hell is that?
All right, so stuff I saw today. Pretty much over the last couple of days because I didn't do a show yesterday, but there's that. So anyway, stuff I saw. Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 1 has a 98% Rotten Tomatoes score. I don't really pull that shit up often, but I thought that was interesting just because a lot of people like it. This is the mission you don't want to miss. Fire, I'm down. I'm seeing it on Tuesday at like 2 p.m. Eastern time. So the movie opens on Wednesday. Seeing it on Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern time. So hope I'll get home. Whatever time I get home, I will jump on and give sort of a non-spoiler review for that movie. Don't worry, I got y'all. For sure. 187 was good, bro. Appreciate you stopping through the daily show. But yeah, so I saw that, man. Nice tomato score for Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 1. Next, I saw this and I was like, yo, what is this? Ryan Reynolds, Jason Momoa, Vince Vaughn, and Aubrey Plaza have been cast in Animal Friends. Let me see if I can. Excuse me, y'all. Like I said, I am dealing with some shit. The film is described as a live-action animated hybrid R-rated road trip adventure film from director Pete Atencio. Now, this sounds like they're gonna be on some drugs, bro. If it's live-action / animated, I mean, there's some movies I've seen in the past where there was some heavy drug use, Fear and Loathing. You know what I'm saying? So maybe this is along those lines. I have no idea what this is. I will be there no matter what. I will be there. Nice cast. I'll watch it for her. Yes, Aubrey is incredible. Yeah, I think it's going to be, I don't know what this is yet. Haven't seen any sort of script leaks or anything like that. I don't know what this is, but obviously I will be there or else I wouldn't have brought it up. So that's interesting, man. That's interesting. Nice cast of comedic actors, I think. As much as I've never seen Momoa sort of in a comedic role. I think with these three here, they'll be able to pull that off, right? They should. Let's move on. From Spider-Man's 2002 simplicity to Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse's multiverse scenes, here are the 10 best Spider-Man movie fights ranked. All right, let's check this out. Now, I opened it up and sort of looked at the first couple, and I was like, okay, let's check this out here. Let's see what Screen Rant thinks of the 10 best Spider-Man movie fights through animation and live action. So let's check this out. I saw this just a while ago. From Spider-Man Across the from Spider-Man 2002 to Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, the Spider-Man movies have had some amazing fight scenes. There have been 10 theatrical Spider-Man films between 2002 and 2023, all of which brought something different to the character's cinematic legacy. In those 2 decades, different versions of Spider-Man got to face multiple versions of classic Spider-Man villains and some incredible action pieces that will forever be associated with the character, right? All right, so let's take a look at this, man. Let's take a look. At number 10, Peter Parker versus Flash Thompson. I remember thinking this was an absolutely fucking incredible scene. It was crazy because everybody thought he was so weird because he dominated Flash Thompson. But y'all remember how this starts. His webs shoot out prematurely. He doesn't know how to operate them yet. And he knocks a tray of food on Flash Thompson, and then Flash Thompson chases him down. And what we see happen here is obviously Peter ducks and fucking claps him real quick. And then everybody's like, yo, that's crazy. For the most part. Some of the people are like, yo, bro, you're weird. Okay, I can't. This is Spider-Man versus Mysterio's Illusions. Okay, I got you at number 9. I got you. You know, that was a trippy scene, though. It was a trippy scene. I can't even take nothing away from that. Let me get this over here. Spider-Man versus Electro's final fight. Okay, decent fight. I thought it was pretty good. VFX looked pretty good. Obviously, you can think what you want about, Electro in that particular movie or whatever. I thought the fight scene was pretty dope, man. And obviously it ends with, the death of one Gwen Stacy. Spoilers if y'all don't know. Spoilers. Spider-Man versus Green Goblin's final. Now, I would have this higher for nostalgic reasons. I think it's a great fight. Even with the last time I watched it, which wasn't too long ago, I thought the fight was incredible. I thought it was dope, but it is dated. It is dated when you start talking about the fights in later Spider-Man movies, especially Across the Spider-Verse and things of that nature. So, yo, what up, Mario Faith? What's good, homie? What's good? Alejandro in the house, what's good? I wouldn't want to fight me neither. Oh, you talking about Flash Thompson? Yeah, man. That's it's a great scene, man. I like it. I understand it's dated, but I like it. I like it a lot. Like as far as my first sort of live action, so it's pretty much Spider-Man's first live action fight, like in that universe when it came to damn it, what's his name? How do I forget the director's name? Killing me. I can't remember. Fucking kill me right now. Hold up, is it in here? It is not. Anyway, let's move on. Sam Raimi. I feel like a bitch for not remembering that, to be honest. Spider people fight at Aunt May's house. Now, this was a great fucking fight. This was incredible. Them trying to hide everything. This was put together very, very well. It says for 5 Spider people fighting several Spider-Man villains in Aunt May's house sounds like something that would only work in a comic book. Fortunately, and this is great, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse was not limited by what can and can't work in live action. The Spider People vs. Kingpin Man fight at Aunt May's house highlighted how different each Spider character featured in the film was, combining a sense of absurdity with the emotional build-up leading up to the Prowler's confrontation with Miles. This is a dope fight, man. It is a dope fight. So I do enjoy that a lot. Spider-Man versus Green Goblin in the apartment in No Way Home. Bro, let me tell you something. We all know how this ends, right? We know how this fight ends. Bro, they were throwing some haymakers. You talking about slamming backs out and all of that kind of shit. This shit was insane. An insane fight, man. And what's this scene in that movie, along with the scene at the end when it comes to Goblin and shit, it cemented him as one of the best Marvel villains ever, man. Not only the best Marvel villain, but he sits up there with comic book movie villains. He's at the top, man. He's sitting at the top, in the top 5 for sure, man. For sure. Not only what he did in the original Spider-Man movie, but like I said, what he did in No Way Home sort of cemented that for him. So as much as I hate the way this fight ends, and it does end fucked up, man. We all know. Spoiler alert, Aunt Meg, or Aunt May. What the fuck I say Aunt May? Aunt May gets clapped up. But anyway, let's move on. Let's see what they got here. At number 4, Spider-Man. Now, this fight is dope. This fight, wait a minute, which one are we talking about? Spurs featured a giant ultimate style Green Goblin and Mission Reporter. However, the film's best fight was a relatively simple conversation between Spider-Man and Kingpin. Miles had finally become. Okay, this is that one, not the one where Kingpin just murders fucking Spider-Man, which is insane to watch. But this fight, yeah, it was dope, man. It was dope. I understand why it's at number 4 on this list. And again, look. Again, I think it's slightly unfair, this list, combining the two, because in animation, you could do a lot of shit you just can't do with live action. And it's going to look good because it's animation. So there's that. So anyway, there's that, number 4. Number 3 Spider-Man versus Multi. This is nostalgia like no other. This is fire like no other. This is doing it right like no other. I remember watching this thinking that they really killed this. They really knocked this out of the park. There's a thin line when it comes to this kind of stuff. You could either be very great or you could be trash, bro. Like it's just, it balances, and they were able to be really great with this. So good fight, man. Good fight. Spider-Man versus Spider Society. Bro, this was dope. Now, this was 1,000 Spider-Man chasing after one Spider-Man. And you saw the fight on the train and all of that stuff. The animation is absolutely superb. You already know how I feel about this movie. Cross the Spider-Verse is way up there when it comes to Spider-Man movies. So I see that being there. I do. Now, let me tell you something right now. It says right here, Spider-Man 2 is widely considered one of the best Spider-Man movies of all time, as well as one of the best. It is. Okay, let me tell you something. It's my favorite Spider-Man movie, right? Spider-Man 2, this fight scene was everything watching this come to life, and they really, Sam Raimi and company knocked it out of the fucking park, dude. This was a absolutely fire fight scene, and the VFX looked great. The practical shit looks great. Spider-Man does what you think he should do when he slips through cracks and all of that kind of shit. This was incredible, man. And you could, excuse me. And you could tell the stakes were very, very high here. Let's see what it said. Spider-Man 2 is widely considered one of the best Spider-Man movies of all time, as well as one of the best superhero films in general. Sam Raimi brought back everything that worked in the first film and elevated it for the sequel. True. Every action scene in Spider-Man 2 felt bigger and bolder than the ones in Spider-Man. Not only did Spider-Man vs. Dr. Octopus trained to fight age well, but it can still be considered the best Spider-Man fight. It does still look good if you watch it. I mean, obviously everything's not going to be perfect, but it still looks good. So there you have it. I just wanted to bring that up. I thought that was pretty dope. When it came to Spider-Man fight scenes in the movie, I thought that was cool. So let's move on. All right. A new Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny poster. I know there's a lot of talk about the box office, and rightfully so. It's wild. It's crazy. It's not living up to expectations, which is, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. I think, I have that discussion at another time, is why I feel like this, what's going on with these summer movies, because I really enjoyed this movie. Really enjoyed it. And obviously, though, but you can see by my shirt, I'm an Indiana Jones diehard kind of dude. So, like, I'm not going to say I'm going to enjoy it regardless. But I did. I thought it was I already gave my review of it. I thought it was an Indiana Jones movie through and through, and it was great. Says you much better than Shia. I can see that. Check out this brand new art. Yeah, that's dope. Also, I ranked my Indiana Jones movies, and look, like I said, don't get it twisted. I absolutely love every single Indiana Jones movie. I love them. I just do. They hit every key point they're supposed to, and they're just great movies, man. That's literally what I've been watching for the past weekend. Literally, like every time I get a chance, I'm watching one of these Indiana Jones movies. So I ranked them, and by no means does this mean just because I put Dial of Destiny at the end. Like I said in the tweet, like it's gonna take some more watches, right? Before if it has what it takes to move up on this list, because I've seen all 4 of these movies, especially these first 2. Bruh, if I knew the exact number, I would tell you. I'm not embarrassed to tell you at all. I've seen both of these movies probably over 100 times apiece, though. Guarantee you. Temple of Doom, probably close, but Temple is one of those ones where I have to be in the mood to watch it. I love it, but it's not on the level of Last Crusade and Raiders, okay? Kingdom of Crystal Skull, I love this movie. It's fire. It's an Indiana Jones movie through and through. I love it. And I've watched it, honestly, probably the most this past weekend when I'm watching Indiana Jones movies, you know? And then Battle of Destiny, I've only seen it once. Look forward to seeing it again. And like I said, it could move up on the list because I did love it. But I've only seen it once. I didn't think it was fair to move it past any of these movies, considering I've only seen it one time, right? I've only seen it one time. So there's that. All right. There's my little spiel. All right. So hold on. Let me do this. Let me take this down. So a trailer came out today. Oh, guys, excuse me, please, real quick. Here. I'll let y'all listen to the music. Give me just a second. Hold on. I'll be right. All right, y'all, I apologize. My nose was just... Told you, man, my allergies are killing me this day, man. Bad. Like, I might have to go lay down when this is done, seriously. But anyway, yes, Indiana Jones, I ranked them on Letterboxd and stuff. You can go check it out if you're on Letterboxd. And here we go. Leonardo DiCaprio tweets out the official trailer for Killers of the Flower Moon. Let's check this out if they're so inclined to let me do so. Let's see.
You know, you got nice color skin.
And they don't. So let me do this. All right. Sorry. I'm gonna go to YouTube because that's what I've been having. Let's see. Let me bring this down. They Twitter, for some reason, man, their pages don't fucking play, man, on the thing lately. And it's kind of, let's see. All right, here we go. Honestly, it looks better too. It looks better than it did. All right, let's check this out, y'all. Killers of the Flower Moon official trailer.
You know, you got nice color skin. What color would you say that is?
My color.
The Osage. They have the worst land possible. But they outsmarted everybody. The land had oil on it. Black gold. Money flows freely here now.
I do love that money, sir.
This wealth should come to us. Their time is over. It's just going to be another tragedy.
When this money started coming, we should have known it came with something else. They're like buzzards circling our people. We're still warriors.
Bruh.
I ought to kill these white men who killed my family. I need you here.
I am right here.
You've got to take back control of your home.
I was sent down from Washington, D.C. to see about these murders.
See, what about them?
See who's doing it.
Bro, Jesse Plemons is such a weird cat, bro. Really crazy. Yo.
Expecting a miracle to make all this go away. You know they don't happen anymore.
Bruh. All right. All right. Anyway, yo, that's dope. I'm looking forward to that shit for sure. I'm sure. Well, let me see. Am I still live? They didn't bounce me, did they? Hope not. Anyway, yo, that looks good. That looks good, man. I'm not too familiar with the story, but it looks as though Native Americans got them some land with some oil on it, and the white man wants to take that shit back, bro. They take the land from them because it has oil on it. That's grimy as fuck. So we'll see how the movie plays out. Like I said, I'm not too familiar with the story, but I am looking forward to seeing that. So there's that. All right, let's get down to business, man. Let's get down to business. Let's see. Yo, Neil, what's good, homie? What's good, bro? Welcome to the Daily Show. Appreciate you stopping through. Let's see. Oh, yeah, I'm going to bring this back up here. Let's see. Take that. So let's look at this Zaslav article stuff, man. So hold up, is this the first one? No, this okay. Let me take a look at. Wait a minute. Okay, GQ removes article critical of Warner Brothers Discovery CEO. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you something right now. Before I even read this, this sounds fishy when it comes to journalism in general. Like, bro, like you're supposed to be able to write what you want. If who you work for decides to print that or publish it, then there you go, right? So even if you publish it yourself on your own website, you put your own blogs out there and all of that kind of stuff. Yo, what's good, Louis Cox? What's good, man? Yeah. I mean, it says GQ removes article critical. Now, let me tell you something right now. First of all, this before you even get, I'm sure people stopped at the title and were like, yo, what the fuck? The magazine took down the story on David Zaslav without any explanation, an unusual move for a publication. Now, we're going to find out later why that probably happened, okay? Now, let me get through this because I haven't sort of looked at it. The article on the GQ website was a fierce critique of David Zaslav, comparing the Warner Brothers Discovery chief executive to the ruthless business tycoon played by Richard Gere in Pretty Woman. Then, hours after the article went online on Monday, it disappeared with no explanation. The article had been altered and then deleted after Warner Brothers Discovery raised an objection with the magazine. Bro, let me tell you something. Let me zoom this in real quick. The hours after the article went online, it disappeared with no explanation. The article had been altered and then deleted after Warner Brothers Discovery raised an objection with the magazine. When we do that, when we start doing that, when we start, no matter how right or wrong, because trust me, I've had a problem with lots of them over the years when it came to our man Zack Snyder and stuff people used to print about him, right? Remember that kind of shit. So, like, I'm familiar with bad shit being online that you would probably wish wasn't printed at all, right? Because it didn't make sense or whatever. This shit, though, when they start taking it back down, when they start amending it, unless it was not factual, like if they got something wrong fact-wise and somebody fact-checked and it's like, oh, y'all fucked that date up or something, then you have to go in and change it, right? But when we start doing this, yeah, I saw that. Yep, John was good. Yep, DC won't be there at Comic-Con this year. There hardly nobody's going to be at Comic-Con. No Netflix, so that Rebel Moon shit we thought we might be getting, they won't be there as well. All right, let's go here. It says, then hours at the article. Okay, so here we go. Publications often amend or correct articles after they're published. True. But it's unusual for mainstream news organizations like GQ to remove an article entirely because they clapped on somebody. Right? Because they gave their opinion on somebody's actions, right? Unless it was bad, unless they was using like foul language or something, but this wasn't, to my knowledge. And some GQ readers noticed and voiced their concerns on social media. In a statement, GQ said the article had not been properly edited before it was published. I don't believe that by any means. And you could say whatever you want about my opinion. It doesn't mean shit in this business, but I don't believe that. I think they pulled it down, and we'll see why. After a revision was published, the writer of the piece asked to have their byline removed, at which point GQ decided to unpublish the piece in question. So the writer was like, you know what? If you're going to knock my article down to trash, then just take my name off of it, bro, because I don't operate like that. This is what I get from this. This is just my sort of this is me seeing this and sort of me or garnering my own opinion off of what I read. This reads like they said, yo, we're going to change your article. He said, well, take my name off it then, bruh, because I ain't write that shit. I want to stand by what I wrote. So they took the whole article down. GQ regrets the editorial error that led to the story being published before it was ready. I don't believe that by any stretch. GQ's article was put in motion late last month when an editor at the magazine asked Jason Bailey, a freelancer, to write an analysis that explained why Mr. Zaslav was the most hated man in Hollywood, according to two people with knowledge of the assignment. So there you have that. Mr. Zaslav took over the Hollywood powerhouse last year when Discovery merged with Warner Media, catapulting him to the highest echelons of the media industry. The Newhouse family, which owns GQ's publisher, Condé Nast, also has a stake in Warner Brothers Discovery and has representatives on board of its directors. That's fucking conflict of interest, bro. That is what that is called, right? As far as I know, that's called a conflict of interest, right? You own this magazine, but you're also in one. But that means every time you print something about them, it's going to be in good graces, right? Because you work. The journalism not going to be honest when you get that. In recent months, Mr. Zaslav had become a target of criticism in some Hollywood circles. Many of the complaints have centered on budget cuts and other changes he has announced. Last month, the company laid off some top executives at Turner Classic Movies, a move that some of the industry's top talent harshly criticized, right? I apologize, you guys. Give me just a second. Yeah, I apologize again. Like I said, my sinuses are really bad right now. I probably would have canceled the show, but it didn't hit me till like 15 minutes before I started. Like, not this bad anyway. Mr. Zaslav has said he was making difficult decisions to safeguard the long-term health of the company in a difficult business environment. Amid the furor over TCM, he asked the director Steven Spielberg, Ron Scorsese, and Paul Thomas Anderson to advise the channel. The resulting article had the headline, "How Warner Brothers Discovery CEO David Zaslav became public enemy #1 in Hollywood." It says a spokesperson for Warner Bros. Discovery soon reached out to the magazine to complain, pointing out that the company hadn't been contacted for comment on the article. Warner Bros. Discovery said in a statement, the company also asked that several inaccuracies be corrected. In the process of doing so, the editors ultimately decided to pull the piece, Warner Bros. Discovery said in its statement. Soon after, Mr. Bailey heard from a senior editor at GQ who asked him to revise the article. He said editors had assured him there were no inaccuracies in this article. Mr. Bailey declined to participate, but gave the editor permission to make changes, according to the two people with knowledge of the interactions. Two people, that's it. When the revisions came back, Mr. Bailey objected to the new version, said he wasn't comfortable with his bylines appearing on the article. The revised version did not include the reference to Pretty Woman, among other changes. GQ then decided to unpublish the article, the two people said. Two people. Yeah, Louis, sinuses are bad today. GQ then decided to unpublish it. Mr. Bailey, who was also written for the New York Times, said in a statement that he objected to the notion that the article hadn't been properly edited. I had gone through edits and would have been happy to continue to participate in the edit process had it taken place before the publication of the piece. Mr. Bailey said, so there's that, right? So you have that information out. Now here is this. GQ editor who pulled critical David Zaslav story is producing a movie. Now, look, I already know what's going to happen. Those in support of what's going on over there, they're going to have excuses galore for this stuff. Oh, well, this. Oh, well, that. It looks pretty fucking shady. You can't deny that. While all of this stuff could be lies, it's in Variety, bro. Like, literally right here. I'm about to pull up a Variety article. Like, it's literally there. So they be on top of their shit, right? For the most part, as far as I am in my experience. So I'm about to read what they say, but it doesn't, I mean, it straight up says it right here. GQ editor. Let me see something. GQ editor who pulled critical David Zaslav story is producing for Warner Brothers. Now, how about that? How about that? That's pretty odd. So the guy gives you you get the opportunity to produce a movie. Zaslav probably gave it to him. So you for sure you're gonna pull that article. You don't want nothing jeopardizing your producing credit, right? GQ editor who pulled the critical David Zaslav story is producing a movie for Warner Brothers. Bro, if all of this turns out to be trash, like not true, or it's some stuff is not, That right there just sounds bad. Just sounds bad. Somebody at your magazine writes a bad article about a person who gave you the opportunity to produce a movie and you pull said article. Okay. On July 3rd, GQ.com rolled out a hot take story. This hot take story titled How Warner Brothers Discovery CEO David Zaslav Became Public Enemy #1 in Hollywood. The piece, which was written by freelance film critic Jason Bailey and slammed Zaslav as a Logan Roy-esque mogul, quickly disappeared from GQ's website. Let me get this off here. While a new, more friendly version popped up with a separate URL. That version too vanished not long after leaving readers puzzled. But did a GQ editor's relationship with Warner Brothers play a role in the softening and ultimate removal of the story? I mean, bruh. If not, this is some wild shit. GQ editor-in-chief Will Welch is producing a movie at Warner Brothers titled The Great Chinese Art Heist, which is based on a 2018 GQ article. Wow. Article by Alex Palmer, John M. Chu, Crazy Rich Asians attached to direct and produce the film, which chronicles an audacious European museum crime wave that targeted Chinese antiquities. The project already has a script in place by Ken Chang, Jessica Gao, and Jimmy O. Yang. Sources say Welch was involved in the discussion surrounding the removal of Bailey's initial story and made the call to pull the revamped story, which ran some 500 words shorter than the published version. Okay. Now, these same sources say Warner Brothers Discovery complained about the initial story to 2 GQ editors, right? One of whom is Welch. All right. So a representative for GQ said a piece published by GQ on Monday was not properly edited before going live. After a revision was published, the writer of the piece asked to have their byline removed, at which point GQ decided to unpublish the piece in question. GQ regrets the editorial error that led to a story being published before it was ready. But a spokesperson for Warner Brothers Discovery offered a slightly different take. The freelance reporter made no attempt to reach out to Warner Brothers to fact check the substance of the piece before publishing. A standard practice for any reputable news outlet, the spokesperson said. Well, okay. As is also standard practice, we contacted the outlet and asked that numerous inaccuracies be corrected. In the process of doing so, the editors ultimately decided to pull the piece. All of this shit sounds shady, bro. It just all does, right? It doesn't matter what side you stand on. So if this guy, Welch, is that his name? If he just made this article, that's so weird though. How is GQ publishing articles without fact checking, right? That just doesn't. The GQ putting articles out there without fact checking. No attempt to reach out to Warner Brothers to fact check the substance of the piece. See that all of that shit is really odd to me. Really, you threw out a piece without fact checking. Still removing an entire story from news outlet website will constitute an extreme action, as it almost never done, except in the most egregious cases of journalistic malpractice. Even then, an editor's note would typically appear when readers clicked on an excised story with an explanation why it was killed. I think the dude didn't want his shit amended. He didn't like it, what they were going to do with it. So he said, you know what? I don't want my name on this at all. Whether it was because the inaccuracies came up and he was like, oh, I really don't want my name on that because of the I just don't see how they publish an article without checking the facts, right? I believe they checked the facts. I think they checked them. That's cool. Once involvement in the decision-making process would constitute a conflict of interest as a producer. See, I just said that, a conflict of interest. Welch's involvement in the decision-making process would constitute a conflict of interest. As a producer on Warner Brothers movie in early development, Welch would meet the criteria from the Society of Professional Journalists Code of Ethics that says reporters and editors should avoid conflicts of interest, real or perceived, and disclose unavoidable conflicts, right? Furthermore, journalistic best practices dictate that stories never just disappear and that any significant corrections be noted with full transparency. A Warner Brothers Discovery source says no one at the corporate level was aware of Welch's ties to the movie studio. Okay. As for what changed between the first and second versions of the piece, it appears from an archived version to be mostly tonal in nature. Gone from the softened version was Bailey's description of Zaslav as akin to Richard Gere's ruthless financier character in Pretty Woman, who boasts of selling off companies for their parts, as well as mention of Zaslav co-hosting a party in Cannes with Graydon Carter for the movie studio's 100th anniversary. Bailey declined to comment on Warner Brothers Discovery's characterization of his work as containing multiple inaccuracies, that he never reached out to Zaslav for comment. Roger Friedman first reported that about the missing article on Hollywood. Okay, so it says Bailey declined to comment on whether, so they're trying to get holler at him, and he's like, yo, I ain't got nothing else to say. I don't know. It all seems shady. But bruh, it seems massively shady. Like all of it just reeks of fucking disgusting, shady, whatever you want to call it. But interesting. So pay attention to that, y'all. And like I said at the beginning of the show, I am not feeling good right now. I'm gonna go ahead and bounce. Let me take this down real quick. Yeah, I appreciate everybody who watches again. If you want to support the show besides just watching, I appreciate the views. Sorry, I'm not feeling good. But oh, you gotta be kidding me. Sorry. Anyway, I gotta go. I love you guys. See you guys later. Check you guys tomorrow. Hopefully, I'll have a show tomorrow. I'm sure I'll be able to. I'm really feeling terrible right now. This is wild. So anyway, where's it at? All right. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Hopefully tomorrow. Peace out.